Welcome to Revere Software's 3 Tips in 3 Minutes. And today I'm thrilled to have Rich Maiore with Rocket Social Impact. Rich, what are your 3 tips?
Hello, everyone. Rich Maiore with Rocket Social Impact. We're a social impact agency. We help companies with strategy, implementation, and communication around their CSR. Today, we're talking communication, specifically to employees. A frequent complaint we hear from clients are our employees don't know what we're doing when it comes to CSR, ESG. That has become even more of a challenge during COVID, as many of your internal communication channels are filled with COVID-related protocols and things like that. It's becoming even harder. Additionally, you're not seeing folks in the hallway to learn information about CSR or events, volunteer events. So it's become very hard to reach employees with information around CSR, activate them around it. So it's something that's keeping some folks up at night, and for good reason. So got a few tips for you. Got some props even to help you remember these tips.
Oh, we like props. Those are good.
So let's, first where we start is around messaging. In our view, a lot of the messaging is kind of bland, a little vanilla in terms of how you talk to your employees. It tends to get watered down in corporate speak. And so first thing we want you to do in your toolbox is get a box of 64 Crayolas. Look at all those fun colors, right?
Awesome.
Is how can you color up your messaging? Shorter, more compelling, colorful messaging that'll grab attention. Think about it. You're scrolling all day or you're looking at emails all day. What's going to grab your attention is some messaging that has some more pop to it. Really shorter sentences, more colorful sentences. So this is a metaphor for, get out of the vanilla. Your primary colors are the enemy. Get some lavender, some burnt sienna, whatever's in here, and take some inspiration off of that. So now you've got some colored messaging that's ideally going to get some attention.
Awesome. Tip number 2.
Ready? Second thing we're adding to your toolbox is some Kleenex. Why Kleenex?
You're going to make me cry, Rich?
It is. The idea is to add some emotion here. Now, emotion doesn't always have to be tear-jerking. It typically is when we talk CSR, but can it be anger? It can be humor. It can be other things. But the idea is to tap into that so your messaging not only is more colorful, but it grabs you not just here, but here. So plenty of research out there. 50% of people will remember something more if it hits them more in an emotive way, not just a kind of data way. So how can we tell stories about employees and having employees use their own voice? Beneficiaries, how can we tell stories that have some emotion to them that really kind of draws us in? So we've got our colorful messaging that gets me a little interested. The emotive kind of stories pull me in even closer.
So
feeling good? All right.
Feeling good. I'm ready for tip number 3.
Number 3, tape measure. The idea is how can we talk about our impact and what we've been doing from our CSR efforts? And I don't mean a laundry list like in an ESG report with lots of data. What I'm talking about is how can employees get engaged and what's going to happen when they do get engaged. So being able to say, hey, we got 100 employees, we're able to donate 1,000 books, which help the kids, next number of kids get access to books, which help them read more. They start to draw the connections. So putting some impact into what you do helps folks understand that this has a real result to it, a real domino effect to their efforts, because they're busy like everyone else. They want to know, is this worth my time? Am I going to make this, is it going to be impactful? So the idea of showing this, so this is what this means, is having some data around it saying, hey, for an hour, if you did this, this helps with the beneficiary of who I'll be helping. And nonprofits can help you find these data points, have these data points. But so we're adding some color, we're adding some emotion, we're adding some impact and some numbers.
Awesome.
The last part, and the fun part for me, this is a Swiss Army knife. Look at all these cool tools, right? Most companies will put stuff on the internet, internal portal and call it a day. That internal portal is really crowded these days. Think of it like a billboard. Back to the COVID and all that. So we're seeing more unique ways to reach employees, everything from employee resource groups, like this tool, to we have one client that created TikTok videos and pushed them out to their employees.
Really? Nice. I love that idea.
So that's kind of like, we'll use this one, this corkscrew.
There we go.
One client, we've used influencers to reach their employees about CSR messaging. We had one client even create.
That might be a little expensive for some folks. You have some
folks, not, and it doesn't have to be, I'm not talking like the Kardashian type of influencers, but there are some influencers out there who really kind of take content and make it more interesting and really low cost, but it shows up a different way. I mean, when you show up in a different way, employees do take notice. To it, we had one client, we sent postcards to everyone at home. Because to get around, the internal pipes were clogged with all sorts of messaging. So they all got postcards, engaging postcards at home about this company's CSR efforts. And it really stuck with employees because they're like, oh, this is unique. So the point is, be it gamification to postcards, anything like that. But what are the different tools you can use to reach employees aside from just putting everything in the portal?
And all encompassing the 3 tips that you provided, all within the toolkit there, the Swiss Army knife.
We got our crayons, we got our Kleenex, we got our measuring tape, and we got our Swiss Army knife. That's really what you need to go from kind of good to great. And you'll have success doing this. And ideally, most of these things are pretty no cost, low cost.
Awesome.
All right.
Rich, thank you so much for those fantastic 3 tips. I think people are really going to appreciate that. If they want to get a hold of you at Rocket Social Impact, what is the best way to reach out to you? Your email or LinkedIn? What do you prefer?
My email, Rich at Rocket Social Impact, or LinkedIn, and just type in Rocket Social Impact. Hope to hear from everyone.
Good deal. Thanks so much, Rich.
Appreciate it, Brian.
Take care.